The one thing I want to talk about when it gets to instructing is the idea of advanced or basic work. Okay, look, we're dealing with self-defense here. There's no such thing as an advanced gun move or a basic gun move. It's a gun move. If you are being attacked, 3 o'clock in the morning, home invasion in your house, a gun is against your head, is that an advanced attack or a basic attack? The only thing that matters is you are being attacked and your life is in danger. Okay, so there is no thing as advanced self-defense techniques or intermediate ones. Okay, now I know coming from a lot of you guys doing martial arts, then become self-defense instructors, you're coming from things we have belts and structures and levels and whatever. In reality, it doesn't matter. Like I already said, there's no timeline. You don't have the luxury of knowing when your student's being attacked. So you can't let them like do something because that's basic, and then only at a later stage add the advanced stuff like maybe a gun defense or a knife defense. Okay, that doesn't exist. That luxury you've got when you do something like kung fu or I don't know what it was. To give you a side story, years ago, I think I was 16 years old, I wanted to learn martial arts. Okay, so I went to a kung fu school in the town that I was. It was a massive kung fu school. I remember there was the new people there, and there was a guy literally polishing a stick. He was making his own staff for some kung fu stuff, whatever. He spent the entire hour that I was there looking at the kung fu school, like sandpapering this bloody shaft. Okay. So you can have, because they believe that, I don't know what, but I think it's probably like, well, if he spends hours and hours and days in molding the shaft, then he gets connected to the shaft and maybe helps him to become better one day when he learns how to use that bloody shaft. Okay. The end of the story is, in reality, in my line of training is, I don't have the luxury to make somebody look at a gun for 3 months, then feel the gun for another 3 months, and then finally be able to touch and handle the gun for 3 months. Okay. That's 9 months. How do I know? Now, I hammer on this because I know there's a Krav Maga organization in Cape Town where I am, where they don't believe in, they always say at later stages, okay? My thing is like, how do you know which later stages or your student can still afford? Okay, like you might only have a month or 2 months or 3 months with someone before they get attacked. There's no later stages. You need to start from the get-go and go for it. So what I'm trying to say is there's no advanced or basic work. There's fundamentals, which is like footwork, body position, understanding the principles. Yes, there's fundamentals, which you need to cover anyways in all classes, okay? But then there are techniques to make you survive a severe attack. If I have to ask you, if you die from a stab, or if you die from a shot with the AR-15, which attack was more advanced? It doesn't matter, you're dead. So I want you guys to get out of the fact that there's advanced self-defense and basic self-defense. There's only self-defense. And it brings me to another thing like women coming to learn, and people will say, well, let's just give them some basic self-defense moves. Just think for a second, where's this woman going to use these basic self-defense moves? A woman is often going to be overpowered. She's often going to be dealing with a guy that's way bigger than her. It's got a different gender, and he is completely like stronger than her, and skilled more than her. How can she afford to learn basic self-defense? Okay, basic self-defense is maybe something that's built like The Rock, that is on steroids, and maybe got bloody I don't know what else in his system. And then if he ever has to face an old man that's frail at the age of 75. Then maybe you can use some basic self-defense moves, like maybe restrain them and take care of them. Okay, but anybody else, I don't think there's such a thing as basic self-defense. Okay, so keep in mind, there's no such thing as levels in self-defense. You've got a job to do, you don't have the luxury of time, you don't have the luxury of working it in levels, you need to focus on what's important. There we go.